Why are grant budgets important? Grant budgets break down the financial details of a project. It provides a clear explanation of anticipated cost and why additional funding is being requested. In order to write a successful application, funders want to know how financially responsible you are with money. They also want to see that your organization is sustainable and that you fully considered any potential challenges that may come up with your project. It's about building trust and establishing yourself as a strong business person within the community. So, what goes into a grant budget proposal? Over the next few modules, we will examine the steps needed for a quality budget proposal when submitting one to NOTCF. One of the first things to consider, however, is NOTCF's guidelines regarding the proposal. On the NOTCF website, select Grants and then scroll down to Ready to Apply. Next, select General Funding Terms and Conditions. NOTCF has outlined specific information for applicants regarding the financial standing, how funds can be utilized, items or programs that are not applicable, along with other specific details about the grant application process. It is important to review the information thoroughly and completely before applying. Before diving into the details of a grant budget, we need to define a few words that are important for the remainder of the course. A budget is a financial plan that lists expected expenses and income during a certain period of time. For many organizations, a budget can be broken down into a quarter or done annually. Revenue is referred to as funds or financial resources available to a project from various sources. This can include grant funds, matching funds, in-kind contributions, as well as other sources. Money the organization is bringing in, whether it is through sales, fundraising, or donations. In the grant budget proposal, it is necessary to list both the budget and the revenue because the proposal provides the best estimate of the costs needed to complete a project. What information needs to be included in the proposal? The grant budget is a blueprint. It is a combination of text and numbers showing how organizations are not only using funds, but using funds to support the community. It also demonstrates financial responsibility. It ensures project feasibility. It displays sustainability in both the long term and the short term. And it builds trust with funders. Aside from working with funders, organizations can benefit from a grant budget because it allows you to track progress as well as gain a better understanding of the funds going out as well as the funds coming into the organization. How to prepare a budget. In order to properly prepare a budget, there are several things to consider. Review previous projects, connect with someone who has experience building a sustainable budget, do a practice run, adjust as necessary, and keep your budget updated in real time. When reviewing previous projects, consider for a moment the things that went well as the things that did not. Reflect on those items or areas where you may have over or underspent on certain items or services. Use these past mistakes and achievements to begin building your budget. Creating a budget is not an easy task, especially if you do not have experience. Consider working with someone who has experience and use their knowledge to build a budget proposal from the ground up. Once the budget has been created, run through it a few times. Does it make sense based on the timeline created? Have you accounted for each item, service, or task that needs to be completed in order for the project to run smoothly? A practice run can help consider any potential gaps. Do not be afraid to make changes to your budget. Things happen. Be prepared to make those changes if necessary. Lastly, keeping your budget updated in real time and making sure that it is up to date as often as possible is key. Do not let too much time go by before reviewing your budget again. Again, a grant budget breaks down the financial plans of a project, providing both a clear explanation of anticipated cost as well as the anticipated income of the project. On the sample budget provided, we can see the following information: the various revenue the organization makes. This includes ticket sales, sponsorships, donations, and grants. In addition to the revenue, we can also see a list of expenses. This includes stipends, marketing costs, insurance, and supplies. The remaining columns of the budget display the cost, quantity, and total amounts for the items listed. It is important to make sure your budget is clear and easy for grantors to follow. Remember, the budget should list all necessary expenses, giving funders a clear view of what is required to sustain your project. Businesses should have more than one income. We often see schools tackle this issue by doing various fundraisers throughout the year by selling items through bake sales, fairs, or even doing things like collecting box tops. Being able to bring in additional money outside of the grant funding can make your organization appear less risky to funders, because if the grant money bears the weight of keeping the organization alive, long-term stability may be unclear. Multiple sources of income shows stability for both the short term and the long term. We suggest sticking to the 20 to 50% range, as it usually helps balance funding support and stability. Building relationships. Invest in those local relationships. Funders want to see that business owners are known within the community. A positive image and a positive relationship can help with long-term stability. Consider for a moment that if community members are willing to invest in organizations, it means that they believe the organizations are serving the greater community. And this starts with relationship building.